Have you ever just sat in a quiet room? No phone, no music, no TV, just you and silence? It sounds simple, but for many people it feels really strange. Why does being alone feel so uncomfortable sometimes? Why do we reach for distractions the moment things get quiet? We live in a busy world. Everything is fast: texts, calls, updates, noise. But with all this noise, have we lost something? Have we lost touch with ourselves? Here is something to think about. Being alone does not always mean being lonely. Loneliness is when you feel empty inside even if other people are around. Solitude is different. It is when you are alone but it feels calm and peaceful. It is a moment to breathe, to think, to just be. So here is the big question. Why are so many of us afraid of being alone when it might be the one thing we really need? If questions like this make you curious, if you like thinking deeply about life, emotions, and the mind, then you are in the right place. Welcome to Mind in the Mirror. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, because sometimes the answers we are looking for are hiding in the quiet. Why silence feels scary. Silence can feel strange. It can feel awkward, even heavy. Most of us aren't used to it anymore. From the moment we open our eyes, we reach for something. Music, messages, videos, news. We fill every second with noise so our minds stay busy. But what happens when the noise stops? When everything goes quiet? That's when something shifts. You begin to notice thoughts you didn't know were there. Old memories start to return. Feelings rise up, some soft, some painful, some confusing. And that's what really scares us. Not the silence itself, but what silence brings up from inside. We use noise as a shield to avoid the things we don't want to face. But the truth is, silence isn't the enemy. It's just a space where your real self starts to speak. Are you ready to listen? Or are you still trying to run from the quiet? The distractions we use, let's be real. We've become really good at avoiding ourselves. When we feel bored, we scroll through our phones. When we're anxious, we watch show after show to numb it. When we feel alone, we post something online and wait for likes or comments. We stay busy all the time, not because we love it, but because it helps us not think, helps us not feel. Distractions are like noise-canceling headphones for the heart. They block out that quiet inner voice that says, something doesn't feel right. And sure, we may ignore that voice for a while. We can cover it with music, memes, messages, and noise. But here's the thing. That voice doesn't disappear. It doesn't die. It just waits. Quietly, patiently, until one day, when everything goes quiet, it finally speaks again. Are you ready to hear what it has to say? What solitude really is. Solitude doesn't mean cutting people off or living alone in a dark room. It's not something sad or something to fear. It's not a punishment. Solitude simply means spending time with yourself on purpose. It's choosing a quiet moment where you can think clearly, feel deeply, and just be you. Some of the greatest minds in history understood the power of solitude. Buddha sat quietly under a tree for days, looking within. Steve Jobs often took long walks alone to clear his thoughts. Writer Virginia Woolf once said, "A woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write." These people weren't running away from the world. They were looking for something deeper. And in that stillness, they found ideas, truth, and inspiration. Solitude isn't about escaping life. It's about returning to yourself. Maybe it's time we stop fearing it and start embracing it. The truth hidden in quiet. Here's something to think about. You can't hide from yourself forever. When you spend enough time alone, the truth starts to come out. Not the smile you wear for others, not the perfect pictures you post online, but the real stuff. the raw, honest feelings you push aside. Maybe it's regret over something you didn't do. Maybe it's a quiet sadness. Or maybe it's just feeling lost. You might realize you've been chasing someone else's dream, trying to please people who don't even know the real you. Or you may finally see just how tired, hurt, or confused you really are. That's what solitude does. It doesn't judge you. It just holds up a mirror, and in that mirror, you don't see the version of you that the world expects. You see the real you. And sometimes, that's the person you've been missing all along. The healing power of solitude. Here's the good part. Solitude doesn't just show you what's hurting inside. It also helps you heal. When you sit with yourself, without your phone, without any noise, something begins to happen. Your mind slowly starts to calm down. Your thoughts become clearer. Your feelings start to make more sense. It's like a glass full of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, it stays cloudy. But if you leave it alone, the dirt sinks and the water becomes clear. That's what happens inside you too. At first you might feel sad, you might cry, or you might feel nothing at all. And that's okay. You don't have to fix everything right away. But with time, that quiet space you create becomes something peaceful. A soft place to rest. A space where your mind can breathe, where your heart can open, where you can grow into the person you truly are. Solitude doesn't just reveal the pain. It gives you space to understand it, and slowly, to heal. Why we run from it. If solitude is so good for us, then why do we avoid it? The answer is simple. Because it's hard in the beginning. When you're finally alone, with no distractions, something happens. You start to meet the parts of yourself you've been trying to forget. That mistake you made, the thing you never said, that one dream you let go of a long time ago. Being alone can feel like walking into a dark room. You can't see clearly at first. It feels scary, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. And let's be honest, our world doesn't make solitude easy either. We're taught to always be busy, to always be talking, posting, doing something, to always be on. If you say you enjoy being alone, some people might think there's something wrong with you. They might not understand. But here's the truth. Avoiding solitude doesn't take away your pain. It just covers it up with noise, scrolling, shows, work, or fake smiles. The pain is still there, hiding in the quiet. And the longer we avoid it, the louder it becomes when the noise finally stops. Solitude isn't the enemy. Avoiding it is. Building a healthy relationship with solitude. So, how do we stop running from ourselves? How do we begin to welcome solitude instead of fearing it? It starts with small, simple steps. You don't need to change your whole life, just a few quiet moments can make a big difference. Take a short walk without your phone. No music, no messages, just you and the sounds around you. Listen to the birds, feel the breeze, let your mind slow down. Try writing in a journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just let your thoughts come out, one by one. Write what you feel, even if you don't understand it yet. Spend 5 minutes sitting in silence each day. Close your eyes. Notice your breath. Let your thoughts pass by without grabbing onto them. Have one meal alone. No scrolling, no background noise. Just eat slowly. Taste the food. Be there fully. You can also turn off your phone notifications for a little while. See what thoughts rise when the noise fades. These small things may feel odd or even boring at first, but with time, they become peaceful, like little islands of calm in the middle of a busy, loud world. Solitude doesn't shout. It gently waits for you to notice the freedom on the other side. Here's something many people don't realize. When you stop running from solitude, you start finding something powerful: freedom. You stop needing other people to fill the empty spaces inside you. You stop chasing likes, attention, or noise just to feel alive. Instead, you begin to feel okay, just as you are. You become your own anchor, your own safe place. You learn to enjoy your own company without needing constant distraction. You begin to trust your inner voice, to really hear your thoughts without fear. And slowly, things start to change. You make better choices because they come from the real you, not from pressure, not from fear, not to impress others. You connect with people more deeply because you're no longer using them to run from yourself. You feel more calm, more clear, more steady. You feel like you're finally standing on solid ground. Solitude doesn't take anything important away from you. It doesn't make you weak or empty. In fact, it does the opposite. It gives you something back. It gives you. And that's the kind of freedom no one else can give you. Conclusion. Let's go back to the start. Maybe the real fear isn't being alone. Maybe it's meeting the real you in the quiet. But what if that quiet moment is exactly what you need? What if sitting with yourself, without distractions, is where true peace begins? Because until you know who you are in silence, how can you really know who you are in the world? Solitude isn't something bad. It isn't something to run from. It's a doorway, a space that leads to healing, to clarity, to tell the truth, and maybe to real freedom. So next time the world goes quiet, what will you do? Will you grab your phone again? Or will you take a deep breath and just sit with yourself? You might be surprised by what you feel, what you hear, and what you finally understand. Thank you for watching Mind in the Mirror. If this video made you think or feel something real, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. And ask yourself one last question today. Are you running from loneliness or from meeting the real you? Take a moment. No phone, no noise. Just you and the truth waiting to be heard.